Ladies and gentlemen, hi. You must have been thinking that today also I would come with a spiritual type of speech, but actually not today. I am a little bit different. My desire is something else. What would I like to basically deliver to my beloved students, to who I always meet, deal with, and basically I talk with them personally in the public also, and I meet when in the college or somewhere else in the private places like in the stations or at their home. When I meet them, I come with a very special questions, almost from all, basically because I am dealing the students of various background, basically from rural background, coming from different vernacular schools. And there is always one question in them, is the problem of speaking the English language. Because they are unable to speak the English language fluently, and for which they remain inferior to some extent. And sometimes most of the students who passed out from this college and engaged themselves in various companies and trying themselves to engage themselves in various jobs, business, out there in different places of this country. They sometimes communicate with me and tell their experience presently. What they're facing is the problem of communication, especially in English language. So this is what I would like to say. Nothing to be so much serious about. Simply you can enjoy what I'm talking about. And what I'm trying to tell you is my personal experience. There is no rule I'm going to tell you, there is no system I'm going to tell you, there is nothing like that, but simply I would like to tell you about my own experience, how actually, like you people, I also had to face a lot of problems in my school days, in my college days, and for which actually I had to improvise myself a lot to improve this language. And ultimately, if I'm wrong, I would like to apologize regarding this, because most of the time I am also wrong speaking this language, and I am also not a perfect speaker of this language, and I also not a good speaker at all, but trying my best. What I actually come out from and presently is very, very vast difference, you can say, a day-night difference, you can say. And that is why I believe that if we have the perseverance, persistence, and determination, definitely we can overcome this problem also, and ultimately we could be able to, achieve this goal of speaking the language, at least to communicate with the people. Just some days back, I saw a video in YouTube, and then there I found a teacher of South India, very interestingly telling the students of different institutions, different background and different community and different status, whatever is there, but thousands and thousands of students gathered there in that public speech, and all of them were only actually wanting to listen to her and wanted to speak the language. And that is why actually I got an inspiration to share my experience also before you, so that you might be encouraged and you might be interested too. First of all, I am actually a very, very ordinary student, and I am being a student of English. I would like to suggest one thing to use that. Most of the time we are worried of knowing this language, speaking this language, listening to this language, reading this language, writing this language. Once, actually, I heard speaking my teacher when I used to be teacher of, I used to be student of college, and then teacher spoke in front of us. A very interesting thing is that I can face the bullet, but I cannot face English. So this is what is the condition of us. That means we are ready to face the bullet, but not English language. Such a dangerous language for us, such a complex language for us, such a difficult language as well. But what is my viewpoint is that this is not at all. Once we have the interest in us to learn any language in the world, so far, my little experience is concerned, it is not difficult at all, because first of all, we have to have the interest to grow up. And then we must, grow the love within us. To love within us and growing interest to automatically be there. So we must fall in love with this language first of all, and then only we could be able to create the interest or increase our interest, and then we could be able to continuously give attention to improvise ourselves, and then ultimately we can overcome our difficulties, problems of speaking the language, understanding the language, listening to the language, and reading to this language and writing to this language. And you see, I actually did not read any English medium school, or did not read from KG1 or KG2. I never read these things. I learned ABCD when I just was in class 5. That means during our days, we actually started reading English language from class 5. So up to class 5, that means we did not know what is English languages at all. But after class 5 means when I learned ABCD 1 to 3, the alphabets, and then gradually what happened, interest arose in my mind. It is because of especially my dad's inspiration, you can say. As because when I was at home, because I was from a very small, very interior village, remote village of this country, and where there was no any electricity connection, no good road connection, nothing like that, which is what today you people are enjoying very much. Today you are having a lot of advantages and a lot of things in your grips, but in those days of our childhood, actually we did not have all these things. Despite of all these atrocities and problems and hurdles, we had also the dream like you people, the way you are dreaming to become someone very special in the world, someone very great in the world. We also had the interest and also had the dream to become special and important in the world and do something extraordinary in the world. And that is why we also had a very, very special dream in us. So particularly me, actually, when I first of all was listening to radio, while my father actually was trying to tune off different transformations, especially I exactly could not tell you, especially to listen to news. Voice of America is there, one tuning center is there. There is news center, and from that news center actually news is delivered, and then I heard Voice of America news in the radio, and first time when I heard this tune, especially the Voice of America, and then I thought English is a very fantastic language, very interesting language, and then I thought I must be interested, and gradually what happened I don't know, and I actually made a habit almost to listen this language continuously alone. And thereafter, when I attended the classes of my teachers, especially the English class, and I thought I must be able to read the language very nicely, and especially I did not think of speaking at that moment, but I thought of reading the language very properly, and that is why I wanted to read like the news readers of Voice of America, and then simultaneously I used to listen to the radio. I did not have any TV at my home. Very, very poor boy I was, and my family was very poor financially. We were very poor financially, but mentally we are not poor. We are very much energetic and determined persons, though Though we were in the mid of beautiful nature, perhaps nature has given us a lot of encouragement. And then, gradually when I got the highest mark in the class, especially class 5, 6, 7, like that, and then interest growing gradually. Simultaneously, I also used to get good marks and in other subjects also, and especially, and then continuously listening and trying to speak, not with my friends, not with my teachers, not my parents. My parents are very, very illiterate, you can say, and not with my brothers, but with myself, you can say, with myself. Why? Because actually sometimes I used to talk in front of mirror, I used to talk in front of door, I used to talk in front of wall, I used to talk alone while I was riding bicycle from different place to place. I used to talk gradually with my friends, especially my local friends, my very, very close friends who were also facing the same problem. And then interest grew up, and finally when I passed HSLC examinations, and I determined to choose English subject as my profession, and then I started to give much concentration in this particular subject. And gradually, by the grace of God, by the blessings of my parents, by the blessings of my brothers, by the blessings of my friends, by the blessings of my neighbors, well-wishers, today I am a student as well as a teacher of English. And I'm trying my level best to improve myself continuously, because success is not there. It is a process. Success, there is no limitation. It is unlimited. Today also I'm struggling a lot to learn and learn and learn. And that is why I would like to especially request my student friends that you do not worry about, your language, how do you speak, how do you listen, but you must enjoy listening, you must enjoy speaking, you must enjoy reading, and you must enjoy writing, and then automatically you must follow the sequence LSRW. So the L means listening, S means speaking, R means writing, reading, and W means writing. This sequence has to follow, and then automatically you will be able to improve yourself. And one day I believe you also be able to speak like American people, you also be speak like British people, and ultimately you can grab the world at your hand. And actually I examined myself when I went to improve for myself with the professional course in the English and Foreign Languages University in Hyderabad. I found much scope there, and practically I attended different language laboratory classes also. I met different friends coming from different backgrounds and different places, teachers, professors, and different persons. And finally, one interesting thing, when I was studying in Carleton College, at that time I was offering myself with English major, and one of my friend who was offering with economics major just insulted me, saying that, is it your English language? Is this the way you speak English language, and you are offering English major? You can't be able to, shine with this. I thought in my own way, and I thought and I determined that one day definitely will be able to listen wherever you stay, that Mr. P.C. Das is a professor of English. You will be able to listen in future. And I, all with determination, I constantly work hard and still working hard to do more and more about this. So my friend, especially my student friends, would like to say that do not worry, try your best, and definitely one day you also be able to speak English language very, very fantastic way, much better than me, and you also be able to attract people, and you also be able to guide people. Definitely have a nice time. Thank you so much for listening to me.